first of the 5 love languages I'll be sharing on is called words of affirmation. Now, words of affirmation generally means that it is providing words of encouragement, kind and humble words, compliments, and anything that is positive that affirms their worth. And if your partner's primary love language falls into words of affirmation, then it will be most appropriate to express and show your love through words or verbally. Now, this will definitely fill up the emotional tank a lot faster. Some of you right here may think that, doesn't action speak louder than words? Isn't this very superficial to be like just telling them that good things about them? But you have to understand what I mentioned earlier, or what I said earlier about easy, simple, and easy. This is something which some of you may not be able to cross that psychological barrier because of your upbringing, your values and belief that you have all along right till now, that you show love through actions. And that is, your primary love language may probably be acts of service. Okay, but if your partner's primary love language belongs to any of the other love languages other than acts of service, he or she may not feel as much as towards this acts of service as much as you. And that is why this is the part where we have to make a conscious decision to give, to be uncomfortable in taking up or learning your partner's love language and doing it and using it on them. So, how do we do that? You could start with baby steps at a time, like complimenting them in the daily affairs, like what they do, what they wear. And it can sound like, you look gorgeous in that dress, I love it. Or you look handsome and neat in that suit, I love to see you wear it. And it can come in appreciation, forms of appreciation. If you appreciate your partner washing the dishes for you, you can just say something like, I really appreciate that you wash the dishes for me even without me asking. And it really frees up some of my time, and it helps me to know that I'm not in this alone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Love you. Now, that's something which you can say in appreciation. And words of encouragement. When you see your partner doing certain things in focus, and they are pursuing certain things, you can give them words of encouragement. Okay, for example, you're doing this and you're improving day by day. I can see your improvement. Keep it up. You know, all this may seem small to some, but to them, to someone whose primary love language is words of affirmation, these are big and important and critical. And that is why it is worse. The worst thing that you can do is deny them of what they're doing, is to discourage them, is to give negative words and tell them it's a waste of time that they're doing this. That's the worst thing that you can do to them. Alright, if you love them, don't ever say such things to them. Okay? The author also suggests that we not only affirm them in front of them, we can affirm them in front of our children, our parents, our in-laws, our friends, and so on. Because ultimately, when she hears the affirmations from anybody else except you, the credit still goes back to you. And that will give you even more credit, because there is an alignment there. What you say in front of her and what you say outside of her is the same. And this really fills up the emotional tank a lot. Last but not least, the author mentions that in love, when we express our desires and wants, we make them in requests and not demands. Because when we are making requests, we are affirming our partner's worth that they can do something that is meaningful and as well as worthwhile for us. But if we're making it in terms of demands, we have gone from a lover into a tyrant, and this definitely is not an expression of love. Because when we make demands and the demands are ceded to, our partner is doing it because they will think that they have to do it, and they not that they want to do it. There is a difference in that, and they may not feel loved because of that. And by acceding to demands, they could be doing it because of fear, because of guilt, because of other negative emotions that's involved. So at the end of this chapter, the author has suggested a number of, or provided a number of things which we can do if we have a partner whose primary love language is words of affirmation. And I have done a copy of it, and if you are interested, you can actually write to me in leonreadsinspires@gmail.com with the subject title of Words of Affirmation, and I can send the list to you. And this ends the chapter for Words of Affirmation. The next language that we'll be going on into is quality time.